Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good, so what do we do next? GitHub.com. Good, so what do we have here? We probably want to look at our notifications and see if there's anything we should catch up on. I don't know what that is. Okay, it doesn't matter. What is this? Found the issue when testing save game of an offline skirmish. Oof. Offline skirmish. Okay. 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 Frozen Vanguards, and then what? Frozen Vanguard. And then this. Save. Oh, it's a pretty big save. 81. Okay, what else do we have? Add Docker file. Main issue that reviews are not in favor. Yeah, I don't know anything about Docker, so I can't say. Did I already say anything in here? Let me just ask where all the comments of Omniblade addressed. That's the only thing I can ask. I have no idea. Let's load replay. No, it's load save game. Now the question is, which one is it? Probably have to go by name, by dates. 15/7. 15/7. 7/15. I don't see it. Maybe we have to look inside of it. Does it have a name? It's this one. Let's see what happens. It doesn't crash. Okay. Okay, what happens if we load it in debug? Okay. Well, that is built surprisingly fast. I have no idea why Visual Studio just disappeared. That makes no sense. No problem. Okay. So nothing to do here for me. Okay. I think what we should do next is we can match this guy here. Let me go to review approved. Yeah. Okay, so this one we can match. I don't think it should be in this milestone. Fix it. Okay. Next. Backport structure multi-selection fix. this change here, it needs a different title. Fix USA supply drop zone. Event triggering instantly. After when previously subdued under construction. Fix user supply drop zone. Fix USA supply drop zone event triggering instantly when previously subdued while under construction. I think that makes sense. Okay, so regarding this change, unify file system code and move files to core. Yeah. Let me switch to that. So that is this one. By the way, we can also delete a couple other branches here. So what we can do is this kind of thing. So let's say we simply remove all these here. Oh, I think we didn't mean to delete this here. It's not commented out in generals for some reason. Because it's different. Strange. We'll also remove that. Actually, we haven't removed this before either. Then maybe we shouldn't remove it. How about that? Okay. Then we add a comment. The XFAR files were also commented when moved to core. So looks like we can keep it. Looks like we can keep this approach then. Okay, well then I will do nothing. Good, then I can remove Thompson's from Reviewer because OmniBlade looked at this. Unify file system code and move files to core. Okay. Rebase and merge. Okay, that means we have that done. Good, then we can maybe test this guy here. Fix supply drop glitch. Time until next drop. This fixes the issue but doesn't fix the timer. Oof. A visual bug, but as soon as the microwave tank stops the attack, the timer starts to count down from 2 minutes like normal. Timer started frame. Timer started frame. So this thing is an OCL update, which is a general purpose thingy, right? Let's see. OCL update. I mean, this is something that is used by many things, right? Let me search for OCL updates. Yeah, so many many kind of objects will have an OCL update eventually, right? Right, an instant supply drop. Instant supply drop. Next creation frame. Should create. Next creation frame being incremented while the building is disabled. So what does should create do? To me, this looks like fishy. The way it's implemented looks fishy. I wonder if that is really the correct fix. But I'm not really sure right now. Let me grab that branch. I would like to take a look at this. I'm not trusting this. I wonder if should create should simply not do anything if the object is disabled. Something of that sort. Okay, so fix supply drop glitch. Fix supply drop glitch. Let's see. I already have it. Okay. Then let's compile this. If retake compatible CSC. Oh wait, hold on. This looks different to what it is here. Looks like we don't have the latest code. Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to say that this looks like it would mismatch, right? Man, why is the music so shit? Aha, so in 0 hour the code is already a bit different. This condition here is really hard to understand, and the explanation doesn't help understand what is actually going on. Okay, so let's put it to 0. The music is still shit. For some reason, we can't get any good music here. Good. Next creation frame. If M timer started, where's the sit? Timer started. Set next creation frame. Where is this called? Reset timer. Set next creation frame. Okay. Why is it there the random? Oh, min delay, max delay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. So timer is started. It's larger than 0. Okay, how about we put a breakpoint here? Oof, it's very slow. This map. That's better. So let's set it to 30 FPS. So if we put a breakpoint here, we don't get any hits. Yeah. So we've now built this guy and it immediately starts updating. Okay, the frame is 0. It is not disabled. Timer started frame. Ah, I see. So it says, okay, I think I understand. So basically, the timer start frame is the first frame when the timer starts fresh and counts down, right? Right, and it must be above 0 because when we, well, what if something, what if a building starts disabled? Let's put a breakpoint here. Okay, let's see who calls this when it's done. Update. You don't get to actually spread the first try. I see. So basically the bug would occur because here we would count down and then this condition would be true. And then this would never go in here, right? Because this one would already be above 0. And then it would go here, and then it would try to make this drop here, right? Okay, and so the fix will essentially say if we didn't have a single event yet, then if we actually, hold on, no, it will, I see. Okay, so let's see. So timer started frame. Why is this counted up? Curious why it's checking this and setting this. Wouldn't it be enough to just check this guy if that is above 0? Why does it need to check this guy? Timer started. Timer start. Probably so that in the UI the counter looks correct, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so essentially now if we put a breakpoint in here and we disable the building now it's disabled, the timer started is above 0, and so we increment this here. And so it says 115. Yeah. I guess if this was not incremented together with this, then the time here would widen. Yeah. Okay, so this makes sense, yeah. I do wonder though if it makes sense here. Timer started. No, it makes sense. Okay. No, I think the fix makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I would like that the description is a bit better here. Prevent and when the construction is finished, we allow the timer to be initialized. and then start shifting the timer. When the construction is finished, we allow the timer to be initialized and then start shifting. Yeah, I think logically the fix makes a lot of sense. Visually, this looks okay. Yeah. Let's build a power plant. Let's see if the drop comes timely. Yeah. There it goes. Okay, cool. Then let's build a new building. Disable it. Let's stop building just for fun. Continue. Time until next drop, 1:59. Okay. 1:59. Yeah, and so we stop and continues. Let's stop it again. Okay, that's very good. Very good. Yep, I think the way this is fixed, it makes very much sense. Yep. Okay, cool. Fix looks very correct. The comments the comment takes long width, can be improved. The code comment has long width. Say beautified. Good. Yeah, that's good fix. Okay, let me see if there's anything else we should look at from, let's try Cabal 009. What is this here? It's a draft. Okay, I already asked what the plan with this is. Make debug message box wrapper. Okay, this one is also still a work in progress. Then let me check this guy here. Ah, right. Rebel Uprise. Rebel Uprise. Use map mod Rebel Uprise. Oof. Is that somewhere hosted on Gentoo? I think there's program data, Genpatcher, I think. Forbidden. Oh. Let me hide my screen real quick. Let me connect to FTP. Here. Can I connect? Yes, I can. Oof, it's all dead files. What the hell is that? What is this? That's so much. Oof. So I download a file here, and I have no idea what the hell that is. It's a dead file. What happens if I rename it to 7Z? Oh, look at that. That opens. Rebel Uprise. Is that in here? Rebel Uprise. Not seeing it. Mission. What is the map name? Mod Rebel Uprise. Mod. Okay. Let me download this other shit here. Okay, it's not that. Man. Haha. I think I found it. There we go. Okay. Then let me get back. Let me get back the screen so you can watch. There you go. Okay, so now I have here mod Rebel Uprise 2. And I put that in the maps folder. Mod map. Okay, and now we can and then what does he say? Okay. Create a replay file which doesn't have to be longer than 10:15. Remove the map ini file from a custom map or do something else that will instantly trigger CSC mismatch. Play the replay and get an instant CSC mismatch. The game pauses and blocks keyboard input and the mouse cursor is hidden. Okay. Okay. Then the first thing we do is we build again. Create a replay file. Yeah, okay, so his proposed change was to call win set focus null on pause game input. Oh, I think we spend most of our time here with waiting, no? Always waiting for compiler. Oh boy. Good. So this is done. Then let's follow those repro steps. Then we do here solo play. Skirmish. Mod. Mod here. Rebel Uprise 2. What the hell is that? I've never seen that before. Why are the starting positions so weird? Okay, so we start here, yeah, okay. Rebel Uprise. Oof. Oof. Don't be dumb. Okay, the first issue I see here is that the OK button is partly clipping outside of the view. Okay, so we have this replay and we exit. And now he says that we need to delete the ini file, yeah? Good, then we do that. Deactivate, back. There we go. Main menu, load replay, and crash. Well, that's not what I expected. Why is it crashing and why is the debugger not stopping on that? What is this? Ah, it must be a throw, right? Oh boy. Must be a throw. Debug exception settings. How do we stop on throw? It was somewhere. Maybe a CD exception. Yeah. Maybe. Okay, a crash is not really what I expected here. It promised just a bug, not a crash. No crash now. Okay. Okay, but we have this now, and yeah, we don't see a cursor, but we can still click this button. My suspicion is it crashed because it expected that the ini file is there, and it's not, and so it crashes. Yeah. And I probably already have an idea why that would happen, because there is this file existence cache in one of the files, one of the classes for the file lookups, and that would still have cache that the file is opened when in fact it was deleted, or the file exists but then it's deleted, and then it would crash. Yeah. That's my theory here. We can check it out later. I see there's a type error here. It says Alpha Aurora Nuke Truck. Oh boy, the typos. And Gatling Canon. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so good. So if we press P, it doesn't continue. Yeah. Win set focus null. Unblock keyboard input if blocked by scripts. Unblock keyboard input. The input remains unblocked. Okay, so he says that the win set focus null would prevent problems, yeah? What does this do? Win set focus. Do we have a win get focus? We do. Return window that has a focus. Yeah. So that means win set grab window. So I think what we can do is so if this unblocks that window, then we say win set game pause. It's actually this call at all then to pause. Hold on. Oof, we can't even. Oh, where's the cursor? Here. Okay, we can't click this. Oh, we are really stuck in here. Look at that. Okay, let's have a breakpoint in here and let's restart. So the question I have, will this function be called here or not? It will be called. Set paused false. Call stack. Handle CSC. Pause game input false. Pause input. Pause input. True. So we set the game to pause. Okay, so if we set this to, let me edit the value and we set it to false. Yeah, we just overwrite this. Then what would happen next? So the game goes on, and we have a mouse. Yeah, the question is, should this pause? Unpause the window, inputs, focus. It's not clear to me. So to me, it looks like this is a hack. I do wonder, is there some way to exit this? If we had a mismatch in another screen, like for example, for example, this, and we press escape real fast. Yeah. Pause true. Pause game inputs. Yeah. That pauses again. Right. Pause game inputs. Pause. So if we pause, okay, so let's say we have a game window here. Paused game window. And we just initialize it with null here, yeah. And we say here, if the window manager, no, if paused, else if the window manager gets win focus, get focus, win get focus, and we say if this is not null, then win set focus. Then here we say if not, if that, no, how about we store instead a ID and window ID 0. What is an invalid ID? It doesn't say. Get ID. Okay, why does this not have an ID yet? Here. Instate ID. Okay, so it starts with 0. Maybe it's fine to store this pointer for now. Okay, let's see if that does any good or not. Okay, we got an error. Game window is not known. Class game window. Okay, so paused. I think we need to do this logic. I think we need to do this here. Yeah. Okay, so this one gives us now a window there. And then we set the win focus to 0, and then we keep on going. Okay, and then that doesn't help. Good, so take that, okay, set focus, okay. Okay, so we don't have a cursor, but can we now press P? No, that doesn't work. But we can't press escape. Okay, but can we press escape already before that? What does this change say? But it's ignored and the mouse cursor is hidden. Okay, so originally, without this change, yeah, you cannot press escape here. Okay, so you have to click here and then you access this and then it continues. I see. Okay, Okay, so the question is, why is this blocked then? I guess the key input is going, I think. Yeah, you know, I tend to think that this is actually a map problem, that the map steals the focus to something, some window, and it's a map responsibility to do this properly. Yeah. So if we put the ini back, let me do a copy replay. Huh? Okay. So we create this new. And so the mouse is hidden here right now, right? It is hidden. And now I can see it. Maybe we should say we cannot pause when something else has a focus. And maybe we should say if win get focus is not null, then we cannot pause. Maybe that's fair. Let's see if that works. There was no mismatch message. Oh, it's stuck now. Haha, I see. Okay, that's not good. Maybe we should say only if paused and this. Yeah, so the focus is stolen here at the start. Now we have focus and we can click things. Yeah. Then we close here. Exit. Now if I rename this file, I expect that we crash now. Unfortunately, we still don't get an exception here. I don't know why. We have put checkbox everywhere here. Strange. Okay, load replay. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so we have a mismatch and it doesn't pause anymore. Okay, and then everything works. Okay, let's see if this still works then. So press P to pause. That works. Now we got a mismatch pause. That works. That works. Exit game. That works as well. Okay. Okay, so we always can unpause, but not always pause. Some window has focus. Do not pause because it can because we would not be able to unpause. So we would not be able to unpause with key presses. A window has focus. Because key presses well, it's not true. I think you know what? I don't think it should be in here. I think this condition should actually be at the place where we call set game paused with a CSC mismatch. Yeah. I think that makes most sense. Where's it? Here, recorder. But not when a blocking window is open. Not when a window with focus is open. Because that can prevent unpausing. Because that can make unpausing difficult. Resuming. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Then we remove this here. And this. Yeah. Only for the what was it? Only for the what was the issue? Buffered IO. Good. So that is built, and let's test that. Good. So we load replay. Oh, it did pause actually. Huh. That's unexpected. Let me put a breakpoint here. Did I put it in the wrong project? No. We didn't get focus. Ah, we have to do this. I'm stupid. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, retardation. Yeah. Nope. Okay, that works correctly now. Okay, that pauses correctly. That also pauses. Okay, cool. And that will unpause. Okay, that works. I think that's a proper fix for this. Yeah, just don't pause when there is a window open that has focus. That's it. Yeah. Okay, let me try to reproduce that crash one more time. Maybe we need to enable all the win exceptions as well. Okay, we need to create a new replay. Now we rename this here. And hopefully we get exception hit breakpoint now. That would be most excellent. Load replay. Aha, there we go. Aha. Myth in here. Load time. Any load crate overrides. Load map ini. Aha, does file. It is because of this caching here. It has cached that the file exists, and so it will try to load it. Yeah. Any load cannot open file. Why does it throw then? Can't open file. I mean, it is user error, right, to delete the ini file. But yeah, it only, well, I mean, it is an error because the cache doesn't recognize here. It basically, it has cache that the file exists, right? But there's no simple solution for this. Once it thinks it knows that the file exists, it will just keep using that, right? Yeah. How does this check work? I mean, this was purely optimization to make loose file accesses outside of the big archives cheaper. Yeah, that you can check does a file exist without actually accessing file system disk. Yeah, no, huh? Access. This is actually good. Access, yeah. What does the other one use? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not great that it crashes. It's not the end of the world because it's really not on the user path. But considering that we ran into this when testing something, already implies that this is not the way it should be. Right. It doesn't crash. Yeah, it shouldn't crash. How do we deal with this? I mean, if for modders, it could be legitimate that they say, hey, I want to test this map without the ini file, and then they delete it after the first load, and then they want to load it a second time, and then it crashes. That's not the expected behavior. It shouldn't crash. Yeah. For the end user, it doesn't make a difference because he won't touch this on runtime, right? Likely not. Maybe he does. Very rarely. Yeah. So. How do we deal with this? I mean, once it is in the cache, we just assume it exists. And that's the whole point of it. Where's this function called then? It's not called much. Huh. Maybe we should have a flag where we say don't use a cache, right? You could do that. And then explicitly for some things say why did they add this? I have an idea. Let's put a breakpoint here. Let's see who is calling this thing. In the meantime, let's put a marker here. Yeah. Let's save the call stick. Okay, so I would like to know who's calling this function often. Maybe if we just hit some breakpoints, you can see like who calls it often. Let me see. Okay, so this one is just loading some ini file. That's fine. Does file exist? This one is also cached, right? Path. Yeah, so I mean, this thing also looks here into a directory structure that has been read once, right? So this is also not accessing disk. Yeah. Okay, so it's only this thing here that would access a disk. So actually, on this thought, I wonder if actually this thing should be inside here and not it, because now. Yeah, because now this thing here will populate with files that are inside the archive. No, that's not much. So this thing now contains 2000 entries already, because it also caches all the things that are actually already cached inside the archive file system. It looks like that this code was added by Mark Lorenzen. I don't think that this is implemented correctly. If we have such a thing, it should be inside here. It shouldn't cover both of these, because this one already has a cache. So it just would need to test the cache here. But now the question is, should we actually have a cache? Because this only really is an optimization for... It only... It only really is relevant for... Is this expensive, this function, or not? Directories. Find. What is this? It's a map. Map. Oh, this should be fairly okay. The only problem is here we have an allocation. That's not so nice. Name to lowercase key. It's not even allocating here. Okay, so that's good. This is not allocating, but this here is allocating here. And then here's another Okay, so there's some overhead here. Yeah. Does file exist? Should we have this cache? So I mean, the archive system already is our cache, so to say, right? So that's already fast. But of course, actually, on second thought, maybe this implementation actually is correct, because if we would implement this thing here, in here, then it would be redundant check. It would already have a record. It's not, that it doesn't exist, and then it would have to check this here again. Although you could just save, you could just have a std set. You just record the name key, and you only store it if it exists. So you don't store those that don't exist. But then you still have file access, yeah, or file system access. Okay. Let's see. Maybe this cache does make sense here at this place. Maybe not. Maybe it does. Because you kind of need to save whether it exists or not. Here. Yeah. Maybe what we should do now for this is just we put it into a macro. Yeah. This cache. And we give the option that it can be removed. Or we just leave it. I think it would be worthwhile to maybe check the performance impact of that thing. Like, does it make file lookups so much faster? This is I wonder, is this function also called in file system itself? It is. Oh no. No, it's not. So how does the, hold on. So in file system, if we do open file here, then um, I'm a bit surprised that here it only tries to open a file if it has a create flag. What if we just want to load a file? I may put a breakpoint here. That's surprising. Okay, well, what I'm missing here is that, I mean, if this guy is checking for file in the cache, then this should do it too, right? Okay, let's keep looking at it in the next session. I'm not sure right now. Good. Then I will take a break here, and I wish you a great day or night until next time. Goodbye.